Except, actually, we do have one checklist, which is for the whether the previous meeting was posted and minutes exist. But I know that happened because I saw the minutes already.
Okay.
But I'll ask you anyway to say check. Check.
And I love saying the word check.
I love hearing it. All right. Okay, and then metrics. Do we have any metrics to
yeah,
to share?
Okay, so the metric. Let me check. Glassfrog. Glassfrog. I think we have metrics. When is the runway? The runway still stands about 6 months due to the recent rise in the Ethereum price, which is good.
Yes. It will always be 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope it stays 6 months. Oh yeah. Sorry, there's no crosstalks. I just remember saying.
And is there another metric? You said there were 2.
Oh, there's only one. Financial.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Then let's move on. Okay, progress and project updates. So let me read the updates of the projects. So I think we have all our projects on action.
Asana, yes. Let me send you the link.
Asana.
If you need it.
I'm looking at action. Did you just send something?
Yes,
okay.
I sent you the Asana link.
I think that's what I'm looking at already. But
okay, cool.
Open this and see. Okay, yeah, that's the same view. Yeah, so we have 3 projects here. Okay, so actually we have 2 projects. So we have the Circles project, fully understood. So do you have any updates on that project?
Yes, I just want to say that the Circles project, it has been on my mind throughout my trip. So I was running models and simulations in my head and accessing my previous knowledge, and also actually absorbing some information from a very good friend of mine. And yeah, so I've already put it down as a agenda item for today. That we can.
Yes. Okay, so we'll talk about it in more detail later.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have blockchain training curriculum. So that's Yoda's project. So yeah, briefly, I'll just say that is I've collected a lot of information and mostly like white papers and like PDFs, like academic papers and stuff, and some Wikipedia articles. So it's I think I have most of it there, but it needs to be like consolidated and organized. So I'd say it's 50% done. Well, I shouldn't say 50% done, but it's coming along.
Yeah.
Okay, so those were our project updates. Okay, so we get into our issues here. So, here's my minutes. Okay. Great. So we have. Okay. So we have a few things to get through here.
Sorry,
okay, so
catch what you just said.
Oh, I was just reviewing the agenda. So, so we have a few things here.
Okay.
5, 6. Okay. Okay. And the first thing I see here is not an agenda item, but you have created the starting point. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, it was a project. Oh yeah, that's right. Next time.
Because it wasn't one of the ones that was in Asana, so I think that's why I didn't ask you about it. But
exactly. Sorry about that. I archived that project before updating the project, which I will avoid doing next time. So I'll update. We should update it, and then we archive it on Asana.
Oh, you archived it. That's why we didn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So for that project, the update is that finish the starting point. So it's yep. So the starting point is done.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
Let me see. Let me see something on Asana. Just give me 1 minute here. Show archive projects. Okay. Yeah. So that was the only one we missed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I have a few agenda items as well. So I'll just go through them all. Maybe we'll introduce them a little bit. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
So, okay, so we have something from the secretary here. So,
Okay.
Secretary.
So after very careful discussion with the lead link as the secretary, I have decided that during the meeting, the secretary should capture all meeting outputs, including next actions, onto each row's Asana. So that will simplify things a little bit for everybody. So yeah.
Okay.
That's an update.
So you, when you had, as the secretary, when you had the meeting with the lead link, did you take minutes for that meeting?
Unfortunately not.
All right, well, I can understand.
Yeah, the secretary was being lazy for that meeting. So.
Okay, moving on. Yeah, let's take the next one. This is from the lead link. So.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yes. So yeah. I think Michael. Yeah, it's something we need to talk about. Maybe it should fall outside of the tactical meeting or something. But I think right. So yeah, it could be that Asana is you put an extra burden on you as a person. I think so. You have to keep track of all these different areas. That's how. Yeah, it could be. That's why I was wondering, because like you have your notebook, right? And I prefer, ideally, for me, I don't want to write down anything. But the holacracy constitution requires us to kind of publish our next actions so other people can see them. Obviously, it's not going to be a big deal if just the two of us. So, but later on, if more people join, then we'll have to capture something. So yeah, it's because yeah. So sometimes I feel awkward to ask other people to do stuff. So but at the same time, you mentioned before that it's best to have a minimal set of tools, which got me thinking. There's like we can capture next actions on Glassfrog directly, but it's less convenient in my opinion than Asana, and also it doesn't let us sort priorities. So that's its shortcoming. But if maybe if there's a tool that you like a lot that you can publish, or it's a good exercise, because later on, if you have your team, then you will start asking your team members to publish their next action.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So I don't know. It's how often do you think is a good, reasonable, like updating time interval, frequency?
That's a good question. Yeah, for me, it's like the reason why Asana is not so convenient is because like right now I'm not online all the time anyway, and then when I am, I'm mostly like doing other things, or I'm just like so yeah. when like most of the day I'm not online, which is nice actually. It's like being on, like sitting on some sort of mountain or something, and like I can just think and meditate. So yeah, but then when I am online, it's like, oh my god, I have 100 emails and I have like 1,000 WeChat messages, and it's like everything. So yeah, so I think the thing for me is that like I have my system with my notebook where everything that I want to do I write down, and then if I'm sitting somewhere and thinking, what should I do? I just sort of look at my notebook and I say, oh yeah, I have a meeting today, or I have a project that I had an idea about last night and I wrote it down. So like everybody has their system. So I think for me it's like Asana is just not part of my normal set of habits. So I have to kind of, maybe what I have to do is like write down in my notebook that it says, go and look at Asana. So yeah, I think like for me right now, I can probably like I would like to know what other people are doing on Asana. So I don't know how often you update it, but like for me, it's like I don't look at it very often. So when I do look at it, it's normally like during a meeting or something, and then I look at it, it's like, oh, things have changed on Asana. So yeah, and then I check email every day, so I can check Asana every day as long as we're using it. It's just that I need to make that a part of my actual routine because it's not something that I just see. So if we're going to do it like every day, then I need to make that a part of my routine. Like maybe when I check my email, I check Asana as well.
Yeah. It's interesting, I think, because like, sorry, our signals are breaking up a little.
And then later on, when we have other tools, I think unless we get to the point where
our internet connection is a bit unstable. Weird.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Testing, test.
Yeah, you're back. You went away.
I'm back. Okay. I'm reconnecting my VPN, so we will have another. Okay. I'm back. Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So the last thing I heard was when later we have different tools, or that's the last sentence I heard.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, so what I was saying was like later on if we have a tool that is better, that maybe we can replace two tools. So like maybe we have this tool and this tool, and then we say, okay, this new tool we can like replace both of those. Then that would be great.
Yeah.
But until then, I think as long as we have the same number of tools, we'll just keep using the ones we have.
Yeah, it's interesting because oh man, so many ideas came to mind. But first, I just want to say, if we were doing the military, the Glassfrog, or the holacracy way, then I would say, oh, Michael, you didn't do your job, go update Asana every hour or something. But but I can totally understand you, because I think each human being has his own way to prioritize his or her tasks throughout the day, and after a long time of meditation, I find that our brain immediately knows the things of top priority at this moment, at each moment. So and sometimes having a notebook is much nicer. I'll give you all these tasks on a list. So I totally understand that. Yeah, it's actually, for two people, it's not a big deal, and because we are pretty good at this. It's okay to actually not have a tool or anything, but later on, I'm just thinking how we can transition from working with two people to more people. But the problem is always getting more complicated as more people join the system. So how about this? How about this? We could. I can remind you to update Asana during the meeting. During the meeting, you're online, so we can just do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. So as the facilitator, let's keep us moving. Okay, we have LastPass, we have the Circles project. We have some more things there. Okay, and I have, let's see, what do I have? Okay, blockchain curriculum, I already did that. Okay, yeah, so let me take one of these agenda items from my list, and I'll tell you what it is. You can write it down. So this is about tools.
Tools. I'll put it down at the bottom. Tools. Okay. About tools. Okay. So which role does Yes propose?
This is from the Yoda role.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what have we got? We've got. Okay. So let me take the about tools agenda item. So. Yeah, so let me just kind of tell you what this is. This is basically more of an update really than a proposal, but actually I kind of want to get some feedback on this. So basically what I'm thinking about, so this is something that I think we can put on the website because we have the website. So what we can do is have something like a very simple CMS on the website. And then what we will do is like we will have a button that you can click to create a new document. And then when you create a new document, you will have like a blank window, like a Google Doc. It's empty, just an empty window. And then in that we will use Markdown. So Markdown is like it's a kind of a standard for text. So you can write text in there and it's plain text, but then when it's displayed, it can be converted into HTML. So it's like a simple text format that we can use for all of our documents. So so basically what we'll be doing is like for the website itself, but also for like notes that we can keep. So like we could put meeting minutes on there, we could use it for everything. And for now it should just be for you and me, but later it could be like it could be like a wiki or something like that, so people can edit it. But basically the decision that I'm about to make for the website is like what kind of CMS we're going to use, and specifically like what kind of format we're going to have for all of the data. So so basically I just wanted to mention like Markdown, because if we start creating a lot of content in the Markdown format, then we're sort of committed to whatever format we're using. So basically, I just want to get some feedback on the idea of Markdown, and so.
Okay. Right now, I'm thinking about two roles: me as the lead link, and me as the guy that's training the facilitators. How
Yes.
is the facilitator process? Because
so as the facilitator, I think because I'm not sure what to do with this because it's not really it's not really a proposal. I'm not really asking for anything specific.
Yeah.
Basically, I guess this is just like an update. Like I'm just sort of telling you, like this is what, as Yoda, I'm just sort of telling you, like this is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'm sort of asking if people have like, well, I guess if people have comments on that, then they can bring it up. But otherwise, it's just kind of an update. So.
Okay. Okay. Could you please go to the meeting guide? Maybe the meeting guide. Or...
Yeah, maybe it will, because it does say.
Yeah. So it's F5 triage issues.
Yeah, so this is sort of like people are seeking consensus, because that's kind of what I'm doing.
Mm.
So I would say, what role has the authority to make a decision here?
Mm.
So yeah, so I guess as a facilitator, if I ask like what role has the decision making here, then I would say, as Yoda, I would say actually Yoda has the decision making power here. But I guess I'm by seeking consensus probably going a bit outside of the holacracy system, but
Okay.
I guess we could consider that just to be basically like giving people an update on what things are.
Should I talk to the Yoda or should I talk to the facilitator? I'll talk to the facilitator.
I think the facilitator is more confused.
Okay. Because like on Glassfrog, because we're running the system, so it's like an operating system, and we are abiding by its rules, right? So it's right now there's a confusion because under Yoda's domains, it doesn't say about tools for the project. That's the thing. So yeah.
That's true. It says about the website.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Yeah. So just to chime in here to help the facilitator, because right now the person filling the Yoda role is very passionate about the tools, and he and that person really wants to, because he feels really strongly about having a good tools, right? So right now the facilitator could say, could ask the person that's filling Yoda, because right now it's the tools is not a domain under Yoda. So he would ask, like, deciding and maintaining the tools, is it going to be what's it called? Ongoing expectation. Let me just check the tactical meeting guide.
It does say.
Yeah. So yeah, so people are seeking consensus or buy-in. Then the facilitator asks, what role has the authority to make a decision here? And do we need to clarify authorities in government? So right now, this authority is undefined, it's unclarified. So this creates tension for the lead link, because right now he thinks that he has the decision power for tools, and he feels like the person that's filling the Yoda role is trying to push him to use certain things. So as the facilitator, normally in a traditional organization, this will become all sorts of problems will come out of this. But because we have holacracy, we have a set of rules to resolve this issue here, actually. So let me just take out my shirt 1 second. Getting warm here. Okay.
As a facilitator, it makes me feel good. People are getting so engaged. They're getting warm. I have to take off gloves.
Yep. Okay. Right. So this is a very nice example of how to resolve tensions under holacracy. So yeah. So basically, the facilitator he would say, because the governance is undefined, he will first ask like, Michael, do you expect that this is going to be ongoing accountability? And if Michael thinks, then the facilitator will ask, because right now it's undefined in governance, like the lead link has the decision power. But what you can do is you can propose to change the governance so that maybe that domain goes into Yoda, or it belongs to like a different role, in governance. And once we go through the governance meeting and it's set in place, and we publish it on Glassfrog, it's final. The lead link no longer has that authority about it. So that's what the facilitator will solve it, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as a facilitator, I think I want to point out. So first of all, I think the Yoda role is a little bit confused about this, and I think maybe mixed up two different things. Because one of the things is the website, the other thing is the tools.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we need to clarify that. So maybe in the next governance meeting, we can make a proposal for that. Okay. So yeah. So that's something for the next governance meeting. Then. Yeah, then as a facilitator, I just want to ask Yoda if there's more, for to communicate right now. So as Yoda, I think I'm thinking a little bit ahead, but I'm thinking about basically whether or not we want to use Markdown. So for the website. So I guess. And the website is in Yoda's domain. But I guess I'm just putting it out there to say it looks like we're probably going to use Markdown. So if there's anybody that doesn't like Markdown or has any comments on that, let me know in the next few days, because otherwise probably I'll commit to it and then we'll start creating some documents with Markdown.
Sounds good.
Okay.
What is Markdown? What's the difference between markup and Markdown?
Markdown?
Yeah.
Markdown?
Oh. I can Google it, but.
Yeah, I'll type it so you can hear so you can read what I'm saying. But it's like if you edit a document like on Wikipedia, you have maybe you have asterisks around some text, and that gets turned into like italics or whatever. So if you are creating some new CMS or something, you probably invent one of those. But the one that everybody uses, like GitHub uses it, so it's the most common.
Thank you.
So it's good to have like a standard.
Okay, not as the secretary. As the secretary is chiming in. So, Michael, would you like me to remind you by adding a agenda like Asana next action for you, so you can bring that attention to the next governance meeting?
Oh yes, that would be great.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
Okay.
Okay, it's on your agenda.
Okay, great. Okay, let me check my. Okay, so as a facilitator, I'm just looking at the items that we have here on the agenda, and Okay, so let me ask you about number 7.
Yep.
Our new website and reply to, is that Aria?
Ari.
Ari?
Yeah.
To Ari from Singularity TV.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you mind if we take that one first? Because is that one kind of time sensitive, maybe, since they're waiting for a reply from us?
Yeah. So I have forwarded Yoda email that Ari sent me from Singularity TV. So it's I worked with them before. They are creating like a decentralized YouTube or a decentralized Vimeo, and so they I think that they will need like an upvote system like ours. So it's and Ari is. He is the CFO for Singularity TV, and he is very good. And it could be that I haven't replied to him yet, but Ari taught me personally as like a neutral, positive way of thinking, and he's really, I think he's like a philosopher kind of. Yeah. So I just want to say that. So once I feel. As a lead, I feel the project is moving forward really well, and I just want to wait a little bit longer, like for us to get used to Holacracy, and once we update the website, then I'll reply and say, hey, you can check out everything that we are doing on these sites, and just go to the website and click these links, and you can see what we are doing. And, would you like to give us some money to hire more people? So it's yeah. So just want to say that. So it's I'm waiting for the website. And
okay. Let me go back to my meeting, guys, and see what I should do with this. Okay, so I think we should probably have a next action here for the Yoda ball on maybe something like some kind of something on the website that would be something that we could show to Eric from Singularity TV. So yeah, so okay, so as Yoda now, so I think I need some clarification. So maybe outside of the meeting, maybe you can send me an email and let me know what you are waiting for specifically, what you want to have, so that you can show it to them.
Oh wait, wait. Okay, hold on. How do I respond to that? Because I sense different things. Like, okay, so I sense different things. Do you need a record as a contractor, or to keep like?
No.
Oh, you don't. Okay.
No, I just what I mean is like because you said like you were waiting on the website to show them.
Yeah.
So I want to know like what is the information that you want to have, because like the website, first of all, we will change it and then we will like keep adding things to it.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering like what is the the thing that you want, so that I can give you some idea.
Maybe can I just describe it now? I can tell you right now.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So from like a business and relationship point of view, all the lead link kind of needs to feel confident, for him to reply to the email is like, for example, a list of because our project is open source, so it's like it's as transparent as it gets. So it's like a link to our various tools and Glassfrog, our governance structure, and Asana, our YouTube channel, and Google Docs, those meeting minutes. So people can access them from our website to follow our project and to know everything there is to know about our project. And that's it. maybe put a photo of Michael and Young on there, so people know now it's 2 people rather than 1 people working on this project. So it just to give some investor or partner some confidence in this project, and know that we're actually making progress. But the actual layout and everything else, the Yoda decides how he wants to make the website as defined under holacracy.
Here's what I needed to know. Yoda. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so we have okay, so we can put the next action on Yoda to add some of that information to the website.
I have added that next action for Yoda as the secretary, and as the lead link, may I ask, maybe I should, yeah, how does what technology will the Yoda use to create the website, or will the Yoda keep using what's it called, WordPress, or will he wipe everything and start new?
Probably wipe everything and start
okay.
Actually, yeah, there's some other things I need to figure out about how we are hosting it. But I will figure that out, look at it, and then later on. But we may need to talk about that because we might need to move from the host that it is on to something else, which would be outside of Yoda's domain. So
okay,
I need to talk about that later on.
Okay. Do you need me to? Do you need a secretary to capture that?
Well, I think I will do that.
Okay.
Just let you know later.
All right.
Okay, let me look back at our agenda. Okay, let's take this some thoughts on the Circles project.
Okay. Oh man, I have a lot of thoughts on the Circles project. Okay. I'm going to open the floodgate now, so it's okay, because this is so complex. It's very difficult to explain. Right? It's very how can I put this? Okay, so I'm not trying to bash other projects or bash the idea of universal basic income, but let's do you know something called spiral dynamics? It's a theory. Let me Google it. Spiral dynamics and send you the link. Because when I was thinking about universal basic income, it doesn't fit with some of the other models that people have already built about human society and relationships. So, I mean, it works, but to a very limited degree, as far as I know. And I could be wrong, but I have to say what I know. Check this out. And if you could click on the first image, which is this one here. Actually, let me share my screen. Maybe that's easier. Yeah. Share screen. Share screen. Okay. Can you see this?
Yes, that is.
Okay. So spiral dynamics is a theory. Is a theory about individual development. It's similar to the pyramid of needs. It's very similar. So at the bottom we have like survival sense. So this is when they can't feed themselves and they're almost starving to death, and that's why their whole existence is about sustaining their existence. They can't really think about anything else. And once that need is fulfilled, they move to kind of the tribal king spirit. category, where they believe in fairy tales and they seek safety, and then up from there. So survival sense is about 0.1% of the total population that people live in poverty, absolute poverty. And the people that live in tribal they don't have to live in tribal society, but they just belong to a group. They are very strong about group relationships and that kind of stuff, like tight-knit communities. Yeah. So once they pass the survival sense, they go to the tribal community, and once they are in the tribal community, some people they will become what this model names as power gods. So they seek power within the group. So they want to become more dominant, like dominant males. Have a lot of female friends, and that kind of mindset. And this, so the adjectives we use to describe these kind of people from a third-person perspective is like egocentric, exploitative, impulsive, and rebellious. Of course, these people, this model doesn't say whether people are right or wrong, whether they are good or bad. It's just a way of understanding the kind of belief systems or value systems for different individuals within our society that we meet every day. So, to power gods, they can fully justify their own actions just as we did when we were power gods or when we king spirits before. So, yeah. So everyone kind of go through this in a spiral sense. So they kind of spiral up and spiral down, and constantly and incessantly. Right. So from power gods to true force. So power gods is like 20% of the population. To true force, these people are very vehement about order. They want everything to be super neat, and they want to tell people, hey, you are doing this. This is not the right way to do it. That's wrong and that's right. So these people are absolutistic, obedient, purposeful, and authoritarian, and they make the biggest chunk of our society. So most of the people we see, they have that kind of mindset because they have their own value systems, and they are very they care a lot about what they believe in. And from there, some of them, they will move to strive drive. So these people, once they pass the true force category, so they no longer think of things as right or wrong, but rather they want to achieve something in life. So I think I'm kind of like a strive drive. I want to achieve something in life, and I don't like one thing is as true or false as the other. It's just different perspectives. So these people, they make 30% of our population, and they have the biggest percentage of power in our society. These people are like entrepreneurs. They really go out and work really hard, and have a big influence on policies, because they go out and tell people, hey, we should vote for this guy over that guy, not because he's right or wrong, but rather they want to achieve something, achieve an end result. And then from there we have human bond. So what human bond is that they are very sensitive. They care about other people, and they just want people to live happily together. So that's their kind of main drive. They still came from the strive drive, but now that's their kind of objective, to live, and they approval, equality, and community. Yeah, and so this model says these kind of people are first subsistence. Of course, when people hear that they are in this category and not in the higher category, they will probably be very angry about this model. So this model is wrong. But if someone says that, this model say they are like maybe or power gods, or strive drive. I don't know. But this model says once we have spiraled up, the next category will be flexible. So these kind of people, actually, the friend that I went on a trip with, he is kind of flexible. So he understands, he adapts himself very well. So when he talks to different people, he speaks in their language, and he changes personality immediately. Like I can see him switch from being this kind of guy to another kind of guy. So these people, they make up about 1% of the population. They are very flexible in their worldview. And on the highest category, I have the global view, which says that he or she has a very holistic view on the society or on his life, on everything. By the way, this model, it doesn't just apply to people in a particular industry. Like, for example, one person can have global view in terms of personal relationships, but he doesn't know anything about technology. So when he enters the technology space, he will be like survival sense or something, or strive drive. It depends. But yeah, so kind of model. So some people or group of people, they use this model to describe society. And when I think about universal basic income, Elon Musk and many other great thinkers of today have mentioned that we need a global, like a universal basic income. And in a sense, it's both right and wrong, because yes, we will need a mechanism. But what they are really saying is that we need a mechanism to help the people that are struggling, in the survival sense area, so they don't have to just survive and by helping them. But the issue or the solution is far more complex by just introducing a universal basic income, because there are so many variables. Like our society is so much more complex than just say, if we just give these people free money, it will be like utopia. To me, that's a very it may be too good to be true, because if we start giving people money, for example, if we give people money, then they will ask for more money. It's like if they don't, especially if those people, if they say, oh, this money comes from me for free, then I will just stay in this category. Maybe they need some other stimuli to grow, So in my opinion, a simple, very basic, universal basic income will only work very briefly, or it has its own problems. Like how do we control the inflation if we just give people free money? Then we can say a certain percent of the population will just happily live with this free money, and another percentage of the population, say 20%, will actually strive for more. And maybe out of this 20%, we see increased output because of these 20% of people that strive. So it's a very complex system. It's very hard to say that a universal basic income will do more good than harm, because maybe it does. It's very difficult to quantify it. So I think what people are really thinking about is how to solve this system by introducing many different technological, political, and social solutions. Like universal basic income is just one small solution. It's like if we need to, it's just a small solution. And then if we introduce like better communication, better roads, better food and water, better air quality, then we start to see a global increase in total productivity, or it's happiness or whatever. So to me, that's why I'm saying, the Circles project looks really cool. Like I think I really like the idea of this this network effect to quantify, justify the individual accounts. I think that's a very good technological solution. It may not be perfect, but it's a very good idea. But universal basic income by itself, I don't think it's enough. And actually, it's not a universal basic income. It looks like a universal basic income. It could become a universal basic income, but it's not a universal basic income. So because when people talk, I'm struggling with the idea, like when people ask me what is Axiom, I say, oh yeah, it works like upvote stuff. It works like a reputation system. It works like a universal basic income. It's none of this. It's just what by its own something. So it's weird. So which brings me back to our. Let me just stop sharing my screen and go to the what's it called? Meeting minutes. Let me check my notes of what I want to say so that I can shut up and let you take over and offer me some feedback. So spiral dynamics, universal basic income, other challenges. Right, so one challenge, inflation, right. Yeah, universal basic income will struggle with inflation because as soon as we start to give people money, then money will devaluate, and we have to adjust this, how much we give people to help them survive. Because imagine this, if we give homeless people $10 per day, then that will actually change the commodity prices as well. So $10 today will not work maybe 1 year later on. So it's a constant adjustment. How do we adjust that by themselves? How does the system correct itself? That's the trick. And one of the assumptions that we make with Axiom is that we don't worry about the adjustment. We don't control the adjustment. We let the system work out by itself. We just define the initial set of so that it adjusts itself over the long term. So adoption is another challenge with Circle because like how do we incentivize? How do we make it work at the beginning? Because if we introduce a universal basic income, someone has to pay for them. So do we go to the richest people and, hey, we want to do this universal basic income. Would you like to give us some free money to give people, how do we sustain the project? Because as I said before, if we use the money idea, if we use the ownership idea, it's not going to work. The universal basic income is still borrowing from the concept that we can own things, and the whole value system is built on that. So I think it's very difficult to work. It could work, but I think it's just like, it's still thinking inside the box here. We are not like looking at the problem from outside the box. And so that's adoption. And also, even though they have that network design for their accounts, they will still have the challenge to tackle duplicate accounts and fake accounts. So they didn't mention in their project how they do that. Maybe that's another challenge. And in order for me to know whether that project will really succeed, I really need to know their team members and how they work together. Because to me, it's very important. Yeah, one can have a wonderful idea and have the wrong team or a wrong execution and it will fail, or we have a totally stupid idea like action, and if we work really well together, we can somehow make it work. Because if you think about this, there are millionaires that become millionaires because they sell stuffed ducks, or those stupid things that I wouldn't want myself. So it's really about execution. And yeah, I guess I need to contact them more. So yeah, man, I feel nervous because everything is recorded, and when I badmouth other people, they're gonna come back and oh gosh. Anyways, so that's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to interrupt you, but the Starbucks is closing, so I'm gonna go head out and get some dinner.
Okay.
But I wanted to talk more about this tomorrow. So.
Okay, I'll update our meeting minutes for tomorrow, and have a good evening. Enjoy your meal. See you tomorrow.
All right. All right.
Yeah.